Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel TechDataEngineer. So in this video we will see what are the AI skill a data engineer must learn. Okay, so if you think AI will replace data engineer, right? So you are half right. So it will replace the one who don't evolve, but the engineer who understand AI, they will become the most powerful people in the tech. Okay. So irrespective of we have very good AI system, we have very good LLM models, but still we need the data engineer who can work on who can work on the data, and that data will be useful for AI systems. Okay, so they will become the most powerful people in the tech. Okay, so in this video I'll explain what AI skills a data engineer must learn and why. So let us understand with why AI changed the data engineer role. Okay, so first we need to understand how the data engineering role is changing. Okay, so you know, so we need to understand like AI does not replace the data engineers. AI makes data engineer more powerful or absolute if ignored. So if you are not working on your AI skills, you are a data engineer, you are not working on AI skills. So might be your role will be absolute in upcoming years, okay? But if you are a data engineer and you are working towards your AI skills also, so you will be more useful in upcoming years. So we need to understand like AI systems fail without the good data pipelines or good data, okay, or a structured data. Okay, so that makes data engineer the backbone of AI. So we need to understand first like how the data engineer role is changing. Okay, so we need to see some scenario like before AI era. If you understand, so I'll give some certain examples. Okay, so we will see here. This is before AI era and after AI. Okay, so after AI. So before AI era, most of the data engineers they are focusing on ETL, then ELT, then they are focusing on data warehouse, okay, then batch pipelines, then dashboard, okay, dashboard like BIW and all these things, Power BI table and all. So in AI era, data engineer should understand what is data, what is features, then embedding, then models, then feedback loop, okay, this. Then we need to understand the real time scenario data, real time. Plus we already know batch. Then we need to understand the unstructured data, okay, like text, image, and all this. Then continuous learning system, okay. So same foundation but more intelligence required, okay. So we will see here. So, earlier, basically, data engineers were mainly responsible for ETL pipelines, data warehouse, dashboards. But today, AI system are everywhere, right? Like chatbots, recommendation, fraud detection, personalization. And the truth is, the truth nobody tell you, like all systems fail without a strong data engineering. Model doesn't work on magic, like they work on pipelines, features, and clean data. So the role did not disappear, it evolved. Okay, if you are a good data engineer and you understand AI system very well, so your role in future will be evolved. Okay, now let us understand. So there are so I see in this video, just I am just telling for so this video is for that persons who are a data engineer, but they don't have much idea on the AI system. So just I'm making just for awareness, like what are the key skills. What are the I can say core primary key skills. This is a basic key skill that a data engineer should understand. Okay. So, so being a data engineer, you don't need to become a data scientist, but you must understand how models think. You should know like what is machine learning. So, in AI, in fundamentals, AI fundamental, we should understand few things. Okay. So I'll give you, so what is machine learning? You need to understand what is ML, what is machine learning, what is deep learning. We need to understand what is training versus inference. Okay, you need to understand this all term. What is overfitting? We have heard lot many things like model is overfitting and underfitting. Overfitting and underfitting. Then we should understand, so what is feature quality. Okay, so feature quality more than, so why feature quality matters more than model. Okay, we need to understand these things. So, why this knowledge required basic knowledge, because this knowledge help you to design the correct pipeline, not the useless one. Okay, so if we have the good data, we are getting the good data is greater than the complex model. So you mean to say, if you are designing a good data pipelines, you are sending the good data to your data model. Okay, then we need to understand the second thing. Data for AI is not equals to data for BI. Okay, so this is very important. Data for dashboards and data for AI is not same. Okay, so whatever the data we are sending for BI, that is not equals to data for AI. Okay, because BI data is aggregated. So if you talk about the BI data versus AI data, so BI data is aggregated. BI data is aggregated, structured and clean. Okay, so and AI data is basically a raw, okay, granular, noisy, and sometimes unstructured also. Okay, unstructured also like logs, PDF, images. Okay, so we need to understand this data. So we need to understand that so data for AI is not equals to data for BI. So if you treat AI data like BI data, your model will definitely fail. Okay, so that's why data engineer are needed more than ever. So for what are the data required for AI is not equals to data for BI. Okay, we need to understand this scenario also. Now coming forward, so we need to understand the feature engineering. Okay, so let me tell you one secret. So model do not win, right? So every time feature win. So as a data engineer, you should understand what is feature store. Okay. So what are the concept we need to understand? I'll tell you. So what is basic in feature engineering? You need to understand what is feature one stores. Okay. So feature feature store. What is feature stores? What is online versus offline feature? Offline features. What is point in time correction? What is point in time correctness? Okay, then we need to understand what is feature freshness. Okay, feature freshness. Okay, so this is where senior data engineers dominate, right? Because bad feature equals to misleading the predictions. So if we have bad features, let's suppose we are designing the bad features. Bad features equals to misleading misleading prediction. Okay, you are giving the wrong prediction. So we need to understand. So that's why feature engineering is important for data engineer. Now moving forward, we need to understand the Gen AI and LLM basics. Okay, so now, let's talk about the Gen AI. So you don't need to train the chat GPT, right? But you must understand how to call some API. So if you are doing some sentiment analysis, okay, sentiment analysis, or you are doing some log analysis, something like that. So any analysis if you are doing, you don't need to train your own model. You can call the Open API, Open AI API. So so you need to understand which API is good for your requirement. Okay, so how you are calling the Open AI API. Then in GenAI basics, you need to understand the token versus what is token. We need to understand what is token versus context window. Okay, context window. Then we need to understand what is embedding. Then we need to understand what is prompt versus compilations. Okay. Then we need to understand what is RAG, retrieval augmented generation. So every company today wants AI chatbots and AI search, right? So and all of them depends on the data ingestion, chunking, and indexing, which is pure data engineering. So if you understand token, context window, embedding, okay, prompt version compilations, RAG. So you can build some good AI chatbot, or you can leverage the LLM in your system. Okay. So to leverage LLM in your system, you need to understand these things. Okay. Now moving forward, uh, what is vector database and embedding? Why this is required? Okay. So traditional database stores a raw and column, right? So in case of traditional database, if you talk about the traditional database, if you talk about the traditional database, they are storing rows and columns. Okay, and AI system stores. So if you talk about the AI system, it stores the meaning. Okay, so that's where embedding and vector database comes. Okay, so you should know what is embedding. I have already explained what is embedding. What is embedding? Second thing, we need to understand what is cosine, cosine similarity. This will be help in searching. Then we need to understand some database, vector database like FASS, then Pinecone, okay, then BigQuery vector search, BigQuery. So if you are a GCP engineer, you need to understand BigQuery vector search, okay, search. Okay. So this is the new indexing system for AI pipeline. So if you're designing some AI pipeline, not the data pipeline, we need to understand each and everything. Okay. Then we have the ML ops and MLL ops, LLM ops. Okay. So think of ML ops as a DevOps for AI. It is basically the DevOps for AI. Okay. So model change, data drift, feature decay. So as a data engineer, you should understand like what is model versioning. Okay, what is model versioning? What is data drift? What is data drift? What is monitoring? What is monitoring? What is rollback? Okay. So if you already know Airflow, Kit or CI/CD, so you are halfway. You can understand each and everything. Okay. Then the 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 other thing is we need to understand the real time and streaming for AI, because most AI system today are real time, right? So like we have fraud detections. Okay, if we have a fraud detections, we have a recommendation engine, we have personalization. So this all depends on the streaming data. Okay, these are not depend on the batch data. These are depend on the streaming data. So you need to understand the real time and streaming for AI. Okay, so that's why Kafka, PubSub, low latency pipelines are critical AI skills for data engineer. Okay, so batch only engineers will struggle in. So if you are understanding only the batch, okay, you are struggling a lot with AI system, because most of the AI systems are streaming driven. Okay, so we need to understand these things also. Then the moving forward, we have the data quality and data quality governance AI ethics. So if you are a data engineer, you know, understand what is the importance of data quality governance. Okay, but we need to understand the AI ethics also here. So AI amplifies mistakes, we know, right? One wrong data set can cause business loss or legal trouble. Okay, so that's why data validations, lineage, PIA handling, bias detections are non-negotiable skills today, right? So we need to understand what is called data validations. Okay, what is data validation? We need to what is data validations, lineage. Then we need to understand how we are handling the PII handling and bias detection. Okay, bias detection. So these are the non-negotiable skill today. We need to understand this all concept in detailed way. Okay, because good AI does not good AI is not just smart, it is responsible also. So if you are making some good AI system, it is not only smart. Okay, good AI system is not only smart, it is responsible also. Okay, you need to make some responsible AI. Okay, responsible AI system. Okay, so for that we need to train on the basis of this data lineage, BI handling, and BI bias detections, you know. Okay, and the other thing is cloud platform. Okay, so other thing we need to understand is cloud platform. Okay, so if you are because suppose you are working on GCP, I'm taking one of the cloud. If you are working on the GCP, you need to understand what is Vertex AI, then Big BigQuery ML, then BigQuery vector search. Then we need to understand what is AutoML. Okay, okay. Why? Because we need faster delivery. Okay, why we need this? Because we need the faster delivery. We need faster delivery, less infra headache, and then we need enterprise ready AI. Ready AI. Okay, so because of this we need to understand this cloud based AI platform also. Okay, so I think these are the skills if you understand. Okay, if you understand in details, and you will make certain projects related to that, or you need to or you'll understand the systems. So these are very helpful in upcoming years also, to being a data engineer, to understand the AI system, to work on these skills, so that you can cope up with the you can say AI field. You can cope up with the AI systems, and you can build some AI system apart from the not only the data pipelines. You can build the AI pipelines also. Okay. So thank you. Thanks for watching.